Hey guys, this is Balu and today in this tutorial I will show how you can create this kind of CGI ad videos or VFX videos in Blender using fSpy application and GeoTracker easily. So hope you guys will find the video useful. So I'll keep a target of 50 likes for this video. Now without any further delay, let's start today's tutorial. So here I'm using this fSpy application and moreover I got these assets from Pexels. So I will leave a link in the description. So I am using this footage from Pexels only. So in order to use fSpy application, we need to have an image. So come to the starting frame of the video, go to this video option, and if you're using VLC player, take a snapshot. So you got a snapshot, right? So we will load that snapshot into this fSpy application. So select the snapshot and drag and drop it onto this fSpy application. So number of vanishing points, let it be 2. So here second vanishing point, we will change this as Z-axis. Now let's align this X-axis first. So let's add this point. And let's place this here. Hold shift key to zoom in. So I think this will be fine. Now let's select this point here. Hold shift key to zoom. Let's place this here. Hold shift key and let's place this here. Okay. Now let's align the Z axis. So let's select this, press Z, hold shift key. So now we got this alignment ready. So let's place the anchor point here. And let's save the project. So go to file, save. I'll save this as 7777 and save. So now we can close this fSpy application and let's open Blender. So now here we are in Blender. I'm using 4.3 version. So now let's load that fSpy data. So go to this file option, import, select fSpy. And by the way, if you're not getting this option, means you did not install fSpy add-on. So I'll leave a link in the description, or else you can click on the iCard above for a video where I have shown how to download install. So once it is done, just load the fSpy data. So let's select this fSpy. So here I got the file. So select it and import fSpy project. So now here we got the image along with the camera. So now we need to replace this image with the footage since we are going to use the footage, right? So now come to this camera options, come to this background images, expand this one, change this to movie clip, and from here we need to select our clip. So open. So we got the clip here and open clip and increase the opacity to 1. So now we got the clip, right? So now let's add a cube here to create the geometry of the building roughly. So shift A, come to this mesh, and here I will add a cube. So let me align it roughly. So I will align this edge here and press tab key. Let's expand this below face a bit. So I think this is fine. And for timing, let it be like this. So now we need to track the footage. So if I play this now, you can see the video got the movements, right? So if your footage is steady, you can skip this tracking process. Since the video is not steady, I will be using GeoTracker to track this one. So let's press N on the keyboard, select this GeoTracker and create new GeoTracker. So in clip, we need to select the footage once again. So open, so select the footage, load clip, and here you will get analyze option. And by the way, in geometry, we will get the cube what we have created, and in camera, we will get the fSpy data. Now let's click on the reanalyze. We will get analyze option. Here I have analyzed the footage already, so I am getting reanalyzed. So click on the analyze option, select the frames from which to which you want to analyze. So I will use this to 1 to 240 and OK. So now it starts to analyze the footage from 1 to 240 and 240 to first frame. So here the analyzing is done. So now come to this tracking option, change this to camera. Since we are going to track the camera, change this to camera and click on the start pin mode. And select this option which is track to and forward option. So now we will have these keyframes added here. So once the tracking is done, click on this exit pin mode. So now if I play this, you can see the cube is staying in its position. So now the tracking process is done. Now we can close this panel. So press N. So first of all, let me save the project. So file, save. So project is saved. So now let's make this cube match with the building. So roughly we can model this one. So let's select the cube here. Let's come out with this camera and let's select the face. So press tab key for edit mode, change this to face selection, select this face, press 0 once again to see through camera. Let's place this so that it matches the corner. Now we need to select the back face. So let's select the back face here, press 0 and extend the building here like this. Now let's select the above face, press 0. So now let's select the face here, press tab key for edit mode. We need to separate this face. So let's select this face selection, select the face here, press P P for pen, and separate it by selection. So now we will have this face separated. You can see this is separated. So let's add loop cut here. So press tab key, Control R, and place the cursor at this corner. You will get a loop cut, and accept it by pressing left click. So now we got this edge here. So now this is combined. Now we need to cut this edge. So press V for violet or anything. So now you can see we got this edge separated. Okay. So now we need to separate this face from one another. Just we have split the edge here. So now let's change this to face selection. Select the face. Press P for pen. Separate it by selection. The same way, select this face. So yeah, this is already separated. So now we got these two faces. So this is one face and this is another face. Nice. So for time being, let's hide these both windows. And now let's add some thickness for this room. So select the mesh, come to this modifier options, add modifier. And here I will add solidify modifier. And let's increase the value. So now you can see we got some thickness. Let me change this to random. Okay. So now you can see we got this thickness added. And if you want to apply, we can do that. So let's apply this. Okay. And let's bring the cube here. And let's bring them inside a bit. Okay. Nice. So let's hide this once again. And for time being, let's deal with this one. So I will add a model here, face cream model or something. You can add anything you like. So let's select this mesh, press tab key. First, let me select the base here. Shift S, cursor to selected. So we got the cursor there. So let's bring this to cursor point. So now here you can add any model. So here I will be using this blender kit to get the models. So I will search as face cream. So here I got this model. So I will select this model. Simply click on that, or else let's select this one. Select the model here. It will be loaded. Simply click on the image. It will be loaded. So here we got the model, right? So I think it is parented to empty. So let's select the objects here. It is not a single object. So press S and increase the scaling. So yeah, I think this is good. So let's place this here. So I think this is not parented to empty. So let's add an empty here. So here these are separate objects, right? So if I want to move, I need to select each and every object. Instead of that, I will add an empty and I will parent that empty to these objects. So let's select this face. So shift S, cursor to selected, so that we get the cursor point here. Now shift A, empty. I will add a cube here. So let's increase the scaling. First of all, let me hide this mesh. So select everything, hold shift key and select the empty. So here empty should be orange, light orange. So that means this is the active one. So now Control P for pen, and let's select this second option, which is object keep transform. So now we can control this object using this empty. Nice. So let's bring back the cube here. So now let's add a sphere to get the particles. So shift A, go to mesh, select UV sphere. So I'll place the sphere here and also in front of this model. So here I will be using particle system. So come to this particle properties, being selected the sphere, come to this particle properties, click on this plus icon to add particles. So if I play this, you can see the particles are emitting. So first of all, let me change the number to 50 and change this end value to 1, so that I will get this 50 particles at the starting frame only. So lifetime, I will make this as of timeline. So I will change this to 240. Life randomness, I will add a bit, so 0.25. And yeah, so now if I play this, we got the 50 particles falling down. So now let's change this field weights. So come to this field weights and add a gravity of I think minus 0.5 would be fine. So now if I play this, the particles will be floating. If you want to reduce the speed, just reduce the value of this gravity. So I'll change this to 0.015, so that the particles will be moving slowly. Nice. So now instead of these particles, I will be using a sphere. So shift A, come to this mesh, add U sphere. So place it as side, right click and say it smooth. Now select this sphere which is emitting particles. Come to this render option, change the render as highlight to object, and in object select the model, and make sure to disable this show emitter option. So in render, if you want to hide this emitter, which is the sphere, we need to disable this option, or else we will be seeing those sphere which is emitting particles. Okay, so after that, let's enable this rotation. Yeah, and if I play this now, let's change the scaling a bit. Randomness I'll add, and also particles I think I will increase this to 100. Okay, and let's select the mesh here, come to this physics property, add collision to it, disable the single sided and the friction 0. So now the particles will be colliding with this object. So now I think let's bring this both cubes which will be acting as door. Let's select this model, collision, and disable this single sided. Select this one, add collision, disable this single sided, and now let's change this to X-ray vision. So now we got the particles staying inside this one. So here you can see these particles are getting out, right? So let's select this one, come to this particle properties. Sorry, let's select the particles, come to the particle properties, scroll down, and in I think where it will be. So I think it will be in rotation, angular velocity, sorry, physics, deflection. Yeah, come to this deflection option and enable this size deflect. So now if I play this, you can see the particles will not be getting out of this mesh. So this is okay. So I think I need to increase bit of gravity, or else let's add force field. So shift A, come to this force field, and let's add wind here. So let's place this at the bottom, press S and increase the scaling. And also I will rotate this a bit like this, and let's give a strength of 10. So let's change this here. So now you can see we got the particles acting. I think the strength is a bit much, so let's reduce this to 1 only. So we got the particles moving slowly, and let's add turbulence. Let's make it the strength is 3, and turbulence also. So shift A, force field, and add turbulence. Let's increase the scaling for this also. Let's place the turbulence field here, and strength I will make it 5, so that we get some turbulence added. And I think I need to increase the particles here. So let's select the particles from this particle system, and I will make it 500. So we got 500 particles inside, and I think I need to take off the gravity. So select the particle system, scroll down, and let's take out the gravity. So make it 0. Okay, so now these particles will be acting purely on this thing here, and let's increase the random scale. So let's increase the scale a bit, so all the particles will be staying. Let's select the force, let's reduce the force to 1. Okay, this is looking good. So now let's animate these doors here. So at 40th frame, be at 40th frame, let's disable this X-ray vision. Let's select this door here. So here add a keyframe, press I on the keyboard, select this door once again, press I. Now move forward in timeline like 100 frames, and let's bring this aside here. So let's place this here. Now press I once again. Now select this door and let's place this here. Now press I once again. So now if I play this, you can see we got this kind of animation. I think I need to reduce these particles. These are interacting with each other, right? So let's reduce the particles count, and I will reduce the particles count to 100 only. And now it may look, no, still if you want to reduce, we can do that, or else let's reduce the scaling itself. So let's reduce the scale to 0.05, no, 0.5. Yeah, so now this is looking a bit better. So now we got these particles emitting, and I think I need to make this life randomness 0. So I will make the life randomness 0, and also I will increase this value, strength value like 2, and turbulence also I will make it 10. So now let's see this. let it be here like this. So now let's animate our main model. So let's select this empty, which is controlling this model. Okay, so I think I'll make it start from 90th frame. So press I on the keyboard. Now move forward like 150 frames, and let's bring the model here. So press 0 to see through camera. So I think let's make it here, bring it down a bit. So let it be here like this. Okay, now press I once again. So now if I play this, we will have the bubbles coming out and we will have the product coming. So this product will not be interacting with these particles now because there is no collision property added. So let's select this model, add collision property, and let's disable the single sided. Let's select this one. So now if I play this, let's see through X-ray vision. So we got the particles emitting. So now let's bake this simulation. So select these particles here, come to this particles property, scroll down, and I think particles I will make it 75. Let it be 75 only. And come to this catchy options and click on this bake. So it starts to bake the simulation. So here the bake is done, and if I play this now, we will have our simulation done. So now let's see through camera. So press 0 so that we can see through camera. So now you can see we got our particles coming out of this room, whereas the model is also interacting with the bubbles. Nice. So here our simulation process is done. So now let's move on to shading viewport, or else let's change this to render viewport here. So right now the scene is looking dark because there is no light in the scene. So here I will be using HDRI to light up the scene. So I'll leave a link in the description for the HDRI what I am using. So come to this world properties, click on this yellow dot of this color and add environment texture. So let's see through camera, and from here we need to load HDRI. So open. So here I got the HDRI, select it and open image. So now you can see we got some light in the scene, but we need to rotate this sun. So sun is located here, right? So let's rotate the sun. So come to the shading option, press 0 to see through camera. Let's change this to render viewport. Now change this to world. So here we got the node. So select this node here, press Ctrl T for node wrangler. And by the way, if you're not enable node wrangler, go to this edit, preferences, come to this add-ons and look for node, NODE. So enable this node wrangler and save the preferences and select this node, press Ctrl plus T, T for T, and now we can rotate the HDRI. So now I think this will be fine. So let's face this towards the sun. Okay, and also let's come to this render properties. Let's enable ray tracing option and come to this film and make it transparent. Now let's come to this layout once again, and here we need to make these doors disappear. So now here you can see we are getting these doors, right? So let's add glass material onto this door. So change this to material option. So for this I am using Blender Kit only to get the materials, and here I will search as glass. So here I will use this glass material. Simply click on the glass image and it will be loaded onto the mesh. So again let's select this one and let's add glass material. And for this room, let me add paint. Let's search as paint and look. I think I will add this one. So let's add the paint material. Okay, it is added. So now let's select this particles material. So let's select the particle here, and here I will search as jelly, and let's add this one so that we get the pink jelly applied. So here this sphere I will be hiding, right? So you can see we got this property disabled. You can see this property is disabled, right? If it is checked, we will have this visible in render. So make sure to uncheck the show emitter option. Okay, so no need to apply material for this. And now we will need to hide the extruded portions here. So let's change this. Let's select this mesh here, which is our room. So press tab key for edit mode, and let's select the edge here. Change this to edge selection. Let's select the edge here. Press E, X and extrude it here like this. And again let's select this edge, press E, X and extrude, and let's extrude upwards also. Z and extrude upward. and here also, though it is not visible, let's do that. Okay, so now let's select the faces here, change this to face selection, select these faces. Now come to this material properties. Here already a material is applied, so now click on this plus icon, add new material, so S sign. So now you can see we got two different materials. So now let's change this second material surface to hold out. So now if I see through camera, we will have only that visible. And if we want to add some extruded portion here, we can do that. So let's select this face, change this to edit mode. Let's select this faces here. Let's bring it forward a bit so that it will look a bit of nice. Now press E, Y and bring it forward a bit. Now let's see through camera. Yeah, we got some extrusion. And also I think it comes from a color management. We transform, change it to standard. So now we got our scene ready. You can see we got our particles inside. And if you want to change this glass material, you can do that. So I will later change this glass material. So now come to this render properties. Here I will be using cycles. So let's change this to cycles here. And the device, enable GPU compute. And if this is looking shiny, let's select the material here. Come to this material property. And let's increase the metallic a bit so that it looks a bit of shiny. So let's increase the material a bit shiny. Okay, yeah, that is looking good. Or else if you want, you can change the color, I think. So let's change the color, or else let's give it another color. So here I have changed this color. So now we'll get some thickness kind of thing visible. So if I observe closely, the perspective of this room is not matching with the perspective of this building floor. So we need to fix that. So for that reason, I have selected this mesh which is outward. Okay, so press 0 to see through camera. Let's select these faces here. Let's select the faces here. Let's change this to vertex selection. Change this to, let's select these vertices here. Okay, press 0 to see through camera. And now I think I need to match with the footage perspective. So I think, yeah, this is fine. Just look at this perspective here. So I think this will be working. So let's place this. And now if I look through this, we'll have the perspective matching nice. So now let's move on to this output properties. So resolution, I will leave this to vertical only. Enable render region, crop to render region. And frame rate, this should match with the footage frame rate. So footage frame rate is 23.98, but here I will leave this to 24 only. Later I will match this footage frame rate in After Effects. And frame starting and 1 to 240 is fine. And in output folder, we need to select a folder where we can save the file. So let me quickly select a folder. Folder is selected. Now file format, let it be PNG and make sure this RGBA is selected, or else we won't get the alpha channel. And also if you want to add bit of contrast, you can do that. So come to this color management. Here you can add contrast if you want. So I'll leave this to none. Depending upon your footage, you can add contrast. Okay, so let's come to this render settings once again. So here come to this render options. So maximum samples, this is 4096, which will take forever to render a single frame. So I will reduce this to 16, and noise threshold I will change this to 0.1. So both these settings, both settings are to reduce the render time. If your device is capable, you can increase the samples value. Lowering these samples will reduce the quality, and which reduce the render time. Increasing the samples will increase the render time, which increase the quality. So depending upon your choice, you can play with the values. So once this is done, go to this render and click on this render animation. So this renders only the CG elements like this compartment and these particles. We won't get the footage visible. Later, once the sequence is rendered, we need to use any editing software to do the compositing and do color correction to match the 3D elements with the same. So in this way, we can create this kind of CGI ads or VFX videos in Blender easily. So hope you guys have learned something new from this tutorial. If you learned anything new, please like, share and subscribe my channel to support me. So we'll meet in the next video. Until then, signing off. Take care. Bye.